Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K. So, as you'll have heard, there's a rumor circulating that uh, Xbox Game Pass and Netflix might have a merger, allegedly. Now, I want everybody to understand something, people who are watching this video. Nothing is set in stone. This is still just a rumor. The rumor that actually Asha Sharma herself kind of had leaked. Uh, on the GDC, she said that she is in talk with um, executives from Netflix, and she had a lunch with CEO of Netflix. So that's indication that they're negotiating some sort of a deal. What that deal is going to be, none of us really know. Okay, but this gives the indication that there's a possibility that Xbox Game Pass and Netflix might have some sort of a partnership deal, merger deal, uh, by the end of this year, just in time for holiday season. And how important would this be? Let's just talk about it if this deal goes through. Remember, Netflix also wanted to buy out Warner Brothers, but it didn't work out. Paramount bought to Warner Brothers. So you never know how these things will work out. Just like we didn't know how the whole thing with the acquisition with Activision and Microsoft and Bethesda, we didn't know how that was going to work out, right? So take it with a grain of salt, all right? Because I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. None of us have a crystal ball. We just don't know what the outcome's going to be. But let's say, hypothetically, that the deal goes through and Netflix now it's merged with the Xbox Game Pass. First of all, this would be a major deal breaker for us consumers because let's be honest, a lot of us have Netflix and a lot of us are paying for Netflix, and the amount of money that we're paying for Netflix it's close to what you would pay for Game Pass, right? So wouldn't it be nice if we can get a both Game Pass and the Netflix for the same amount of $28, right? For the same amount of money for $30, right? And then to be able to enjoy Xbox Game Pass and Netflix at the same time for $30 a month. I don't think anyone would complain about the $30 a month because people would say, listen, this is a great value. I'm already paying close to $30 for Netflix, right? Because nobody wants to pay $9 to watch the commercials and 1080p with a low bit rate. People want 4K, Dolby Vision, HDR, Dolby Atmos without any commercials. Nobody wants to watch Netflix with commercials, okay? Nobody want to pay $9 for that. So if this deal gives us like a really good option where you can have both Netflix and Game Pass included. Now, this could work out so many different ways. What if they give us a Game Pass with Netflix for like for a 10 like what if it's only 1080p version? Um as long as you're okay watching 1080p, uh, that would still be a good deal. As long as you don't care about 4K and HDR, I just don't want to pay for the commercials, you know. As long as there's no commercials, if it's ad free, I think 1080p, I'm okay, dude. Now, sure, we all want to watch movies in its best possible quality, 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, right? We all want the best possible quality. But even if it's 1080p, ad free, without commercials, bundled with the Game Pass, I think it would still be a great deal. I think people would still say, hey, I know it's not a 4K, I know it's 1080p, but hey, I still get to watch the programs, original programming that they have. I still get to watch the TV shows and the movies that they have. And I also get to enjoy Xbox Game Pass and all the day one releases and all the games that they have. Again, we don't know what kind of bundles this is going to be. So again, I'm just speculating. People who are watching this video is recorded on April 9th, 2026. Okay, if you're watching this video in the future, like if you're watching this in November or December, during the holiday season. Just remember, this video was made at, you know, April 9th, 2026. So I have no clue how this is going to work out. And I have no idea what kind of partnership, what kind of bundles are they going to increase the prices. So there's so much we don't know. But one exciting part is that this certainly would add to value to the Game Pass. I don't think people would listen. I think I can vouch for a majority of people when I say this. If they can give us a Netflix with 4K, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos without any commercials, bundled with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for $30, I guarantee you, people will gladly pay $30 a month, because they'll say, listen, not only can I watch my Netflix with 4K and Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos without any commercials, but I also get to enjoy Xbox Game Pass and day one releases and all the other games that they have. That would be a great value for $30 if Asha Sharma can make that happen. But I don't think Netflix will not necessarily go with that, because I think Netflix still wants you to pay for that premium price if you want to have that 4K Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, which is great. I mean, the movies look like a 4K Blu-ray quality. The spatial audio, all of that just looks amazing. I think what we're probably looking at is like 1080p, but even with a 1080p ad-free, it's still worth it. Like, I don't mind watching movies in 1080p, as long as there's no commercials. Like, just don't put any commercials, man. Like, I don't care if it's 1080p. It's still upscaled to 4K. It still looks good. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic about this, but you know, we don't know. There's so many things, you know, with this that can go in so many directions. They could be, you know, very expensive bundles if you want a 4K. If you want the 4K version of Netflix, you'll probably have to pay like, I don't know, like a $40 a month. Now, $40 a month, man, is it worth it? Okay, let's say $40, man, that's, it depends how badly do you want that, you know. Listen, I think having options is good. Look, I don't know what kind of options and bundles they will have. This will only add to the value. Look, regardless of what the bundles they have, you know, I think having this option, having Netflix included with the Xbox Game Pass, certainly will add to the value. Now, again, I don't know what kind of deals they're going to make, but I think this will really benefit Netflix. Netflix already, it's well established. I mean, they're partners with WWE, with MLB. They got their own sporting events. And they have their own original programming, TV shows, movies, anime, documentaries, even podcasts. So they got a lot of stuff going on. And it's the best streaming service. You know, they have 300 million. It's the population of the United States. Like, just think about it. Like, the entire population of the United States of America, it's subscribed to the Netflix. That's how many subscribers they have. Like 300 million. 300 million subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. And this will only help them get even more subscribers, get even more people to join in, and more people would certainly, you know, I would certainly get this bundle, you know. You know what I mean? So I don't know how this is going to work out, to be honest with you. What kind of deals they will make. I'm just guessing here. I'm just speculating. What I'm simply trying to say is this is only going to add to the value, okay, for the Game Pass and for the Netflix. You know, maybe Netflix will say, okay, if you sign up with Netflix, we'll give you a Game Pass for like 6 months free, or we'll give you a Game Pass for like 12 months, whatever. Who knows what they're going to do? But either way, this will benefit Netflix and this will benefit Microsoft as well. this will only benefit them. So again, this is just speculations, me guessing. I don't know if this deal will even go through. The reason I'm optimistic that this deal will go through, and I already kind of mentioned this before on my previous videos covering this whole Netflix Game Pass possible merger, was that Xbox and Netflix have partnered before with the Xbox 360 back in 2008 and 2009, when the Netflix went online streaming. Remember, they were just, renting through mail. You can rent through mail, get your movies through mail, and people used to do that because they were tired of the late fees on the Blockbuster. I used to work at Blockbuster video store, so they, the people didn't like those late fees, man. They were just like ridiculous. And I know all about the late fees when it comes to Blockbuster video store. It was ridiculous. I used to waive those late fees all the time because I just felt like, man, this is ridiculous. People come here, they pay. Why are we just punishing them with all these ridiculous late fees? So Netflix has been around, right, since 1997 as a mail-in. You rent it through mail, and then in 2008, I believe, through Xbox 360 new dashboard. Remember that new dashboard in 2008 and 2009? I think it was 2008. The new dashboard. Netflix started streaming. And it was the very first streaming service on the Xbox 360. Don't forget that. There's a little history lesson. It started with the very first streaming was Netflix. Online streaming was through Xbox 360 new dashboard, through the Xbox Live. Of course, you have to sign up for the Xbox Live, and you have to have an Xbox 360. I think it was in 2008. And ever since they started doing that, they became very successful. People started watching more and more through Xbox 360. They didn't even have to go to the Blockbuster video store. They can just, sit at home and watch movies. So Microsoft has a history with Netflix. So that's why I'm saying that I'm very optimistic about this, because they have a history in the past since 2008. And that's why I'm optimistic that this might work. And honestly, it's only going to benefit Netflix. It's not going to, I just can't see why they wouldn't want to do it. It's only going to benefit them. It's only going to get them more subscribers on top of what they already have, 300 million. So I think this is only going to benefit them. But then again, I am optimistic because they do have a history together, and they might come back again this time, bigger and better and stronger and more successful. And this would also help Xbox Game Pass in a big way, especially when it comes to paying for that $30 a month. It would certainly add to a high value, great value. But then again, this is all speculations. I don't have a crystal ball, okay? I'm not a Nostradamus, These deals, you never know how it's going to work out, But I'm optimistic because they had a history together, So it would be great. It would be nice. But then again, we'll see what happens. I'm guessing probably during a holiday season, if the deal goes through. And what better way to do it than during the holiday season, October, November, December, October, November, December, those 3 months. It's really like October, November, December. It's the holidays. That's peak of the season of the holidays. October you got Halloween, then November Thanksgiving, and then December Christmas and New Year's Eve, right? So it's 3 months of holidays, and I think probably October they might do this if the deal goes through. But I'll keep you posted, man. If I hear anything, and I will only talk about it if it's like legitimate, like source. I don't go by what somebody says on the Reddit or somebody says on here and there, some unchecked, vlog or blog. I usually talk about the news that it's like accurate, has been double checked, has been fact checked. So I'm very careful. Like I do my research before I decide to talk about what I have heard, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So I'm optimistic because they have a history together. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm optimistic because they had a history together, and hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully they will make a deal. If they do make a deal, then that will benefit me because I love watching Netflix, and now I'll have best of the best of the two worlds, man. Best of the two worlds, Game Pass and Netflix, man. Dude, dude. I mean, that's like heaven. You get best of the two worlds, Game Pass and Netflix, dude. Best of the two worlds, man. You're talking great entertainment right there. The great package bundle of entertainment. You get to enjoy video games and watch movies and sporting events. Dude, come on, man. It doesn't get any better than that. And this, obviously, this will be a big competition to Sony. Now, Sony does have its own Columbia Pictures. But here's a funny thing. How will Sony feel about this? If Netflix merges with the Xbox Game Pass? Because Netflix has a partnership with Sony, Columbia Pictures. You've seen the movies like Bad Boys, Ride or Die. You've seen movies like The Fifth Element, 28 Days Later. There's all Sony Pictures. There's all Sony movies. So how's that going to work out? Is Sony going to pull out their movies? Probably. If this merger works. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, I don't know. We'll see. So this is just my opinions and thoughts. You never know with these deals, man. So many things could transpire. I mean, just like with Warner Brothers and Netflix merger, it never happened. Paramount bought it, so you never know with these mergers, man. Okay, but it would be nice. But we'll see what happens. Okay, that's it. These are my thoughts, opinions, and like I said, we'll see what happens. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Have a nice day.